What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the channel for real men. Here, Pedro and the Hannibal YouTube channel. Now, this guy with a really strong voice, that's me, Hannibal. And the guy over there, my main. Pedro, what's going on, buddy?
Are you okay, man? Did you get your balls clipped off? Like, what happened? What's going on here?
I don't know what you're talking about. I always sound like this, so.
You do always sound like that, actually. So
what the fuck is that supposed to mean? I always sound like that. How dare you? We're trying to play games here. So clearly I'm playing with my little soundboard, but I'm actually excited to talk to you today because I have a lot to say about a lot of things. So first thing, I didn't tell you this before we started. The Kanye album is ready to be released on Friday.
Ooh.
Yes.
Yeah,
Vultures.
I've been waiting for Vultures. I thought it was supposed to come out like January or something. So okay.
It's officially official. I guess they cleared all of the legal. I think it was it seemed like it was like legal issues or something. Something was going wrong with certain people weren't signing off on certain things from what I saw. But it's gonna have Charlie Wilson, Freddie Gibbs, Quavo, Playboy Cardi, Chris Brown, a lot of features. There's a lot of features, which is, I'll ask your opinion on it. About James Blake. So basically, it's gonna be a little bit of everything. Lil Durk, Kid Cudi is in there, which is nice. Maybe they got back together and they made up. I don't know. Hopefully that's true because I'm tired of them fighting with each other. They need to be together. They push so much to of creativity and just making good music. So hopefully they're cool.
That's a good point.
Metro Booming. So basically all the regulars. So this is gonna be his first last album was it Donda. So what's your opinion? Like what's your feel? Like we have no had that one single, but what's your feeling? Is it gonna be like the album of the year? Is it gonna be something that we can enjoy at least, or is it gonna be a letdown? Like what's your gut feeling?
My gut feeling is it's not going to be as good as I think we want it to be or need it to be. That's my gut feeling. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't know what to expect out of Kanye, man. I'm a big, we're big Kanye fans, and I like Donda.
Indeed.
I did like Donda.
Yeah, it was a solid album. It was a good album. It wasn't.
It was.
Yeah.
It was. So if it's on that level, I'm good. I don't know if it's gonna, we're not gonna get the old Kanye back, right? He even says, "You want the old Kanye?" We're not gonna get that, but I'm still gonna listen. I'm gonna listen. But I'm optimistic, but I'm not. I don't think it's gonna be album of the year. Maybe it is. With Kanye, basically, I feel like it's gonna be. You can flip a coin. It's gonna be. Could be a classic. Could be not that good. So we'll see what happens.
Yes, I don't know if this counts as an album with Kanye because there is a joint album. It's him and Ty Dolla $ign. They work pretty well together. Ty seems like the singer, so you got the rapper. You call Kanye that's a rapper at this point, but it's kind of like a good mix. They do pretty well. Like he sings decent hooks. I'm with you. I think it's going to be a solid album. How great it will be, I'm not sure, but. The production, the West puts the effort he puts in. He do hold albums back for many reasons. If it's not to his liking, he doesn't put the album out. So nothing but silicone. Don't disrespect I know. Listen, I know Pedro hated the album.
I put that for you. Thank you, NBS. Thank you.
But Andre had success, broke records. Put a lot of people on a different type of music. Now, because you guys can't handle that, especially Pedro, can't handle experimentation and pushing the envelope, I don't know what to tell you.
Oh, you're going. All right. Let me ask you a question. Have you listened to the album since we talked about it?
No.
Then get out of here with that noise. All right?
No, not at all. No. They broke. Yeah, I mean for Flute Records, like he's the flute goat now. It's him. I can't say Kenny G because he played a sax. He didn't play a flute. So, it was a jazz flute. Whatever it is. Andre 3000 is the GOAT flute player now.
He can have that. It's all
Are you
good.
still upset? Are you still upset with that?
A little bit, yeah. I'm a little salty still. I haven't gotten enough. Thanks for bringing it back up. Appreciate that.
Hopefully, I think the love people got like for that, and then on top of that, they're like, please rap. Maybe he'll come back with something.
Man, listen, I get what he was doing or trying to do or did. If he has success with it in a whole nother niche genre, salute. I mean, I can't hate on that. But I'm just saying, if in that album he would have dropped some bars now and then, then I'm good. But that's just me being selfish. So
I think Andre won a Grammy because if Killer Mike won for the song, he was on that song, The Scientist. So he may have got a Grammy, right? That's how it works.
Killer Mike won for best rap single, right? Best rap song. So I think
everyone get an album.
I think he does. I think so. I think that's how that works. I could be wrong, but he's got great. I feel like Outkast won a Grammy or two, right?
They have. I'm just wondering how it works when someone wins a song. It's their song, but they're featured. Do everyone get the Grammy?
That's
the
producer. I'm not looking at it. I don't know. I think you're right though, because I even know like the producers and certain things, like other people get it. There's more than one Grammy to be had per category, per award that we see on the stage.
Right.
So I think you're right about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing but silicone. Another good comment here. If Andre joined a synchronized swim team, they'll get more ratings than ever. Doesn't mean it's good.
That's a really
true. If he did, I would at least watch one performance. So like, what? First of all, what was he doing? So yeah, true. Yeah, it makes sense. We got the Taylor Swift stuff. So we're gonna talk about that. Then we talking about this really crazy story with this mom that was convicted of something that she didn't necessarily do, but her son did. So we'll kind of we'll probably end the show with that. But basketball, real quick. I just want to say, guys, Clippers gonna win the championship.
Ooh.
I don't want to tell you, they're the hottest team right now. They've been hot for a minute. Harden predicted it. Harden said, once we figure this out, it's going to be scary. Now, it's possible they may get flamed out in the first round. So it could go two ways.
Yeah.
3 players get injured. It could be Kawhi get hurt, PG-13 get hurt, Harden get hurt. They all have histories of being hurt around the time when you need them the most. So they can get flamed out in the first round or go to the championship. It's either or. They're the number 1 seed in the West right now. They should be beating everyone up. I mean, think about the players that are on the team. How they, I mean, it makes sense that they're winning now, but think about it. The guy Kawhi, he's doing great, obviously.
Yeah.
Harden, if he just put some effort in. Zubac, he's doing his thing. I think they're leading the league right now in 3-point shooting, which that could do well and also can flame you out. Sometimes when the ball is not dropping in, but they belong here. Now, how far they go is looking pretty good. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I know I'm throwing the spicy stuff, but what you think? What's your thoughts about the Clippers right now? Bobby says playoff Harden will cost you money, but I'm not looking for Harden to be the guy. Just be one of the guys.
He doesn't need to be the guy. He's not. He's the second or third best guy on that team, depending on the night. Most of the time, I think third overall. But I don't. I thought they'd be okay if Kawhi would stay healthy and Paul George was healthy, and I thought they'd be okay before he even got Harden. But I can't trust. I can't trust those guys. Kawhi, but PG, he's had some really bad playoff games when he needed to play well. James Harden has had some really great playoff games, also some bad ones. So
some disastrous bad,
really bad, right? Kawhi, not so much. He's even when he was
Kawhi he's gonna do his thing,
He's gonna do his thing, right? So we'll see. I mean, it's interesting, but I still think there's a few more teams better than them. So, do I think they can make the Western Conference Finals? Yes. Do I think they're gonna come out of the West? I do not. So if I was a betting man, I wouldn't bet on them.
Well, right now. If they don't make the finals, it's definitely a failure. If they don't make to the Western, I think especially at this juncture, you're going towards the, midpoint the season. Usually that's the further you go in to the season and things are mapping up. So I don't know. It could be just a little spiciness right now. While I said, brother, what you sipping on?
I just responded. In the
chat. You're talking about, okay. I thought you were talking about me being my drunken self. What's that?
You guys know me. Y'all know me. I like my fruity drinks, as my boy Hannibal says. So
you said it.
Yeah, I did. Right? I got another.
I mean, I would drink that right now. Thirsty.
Yeah, look,
Clippers.
You got a little lime pure. it's hump day. I need to get over the hump. You got a little pineapple orange pure.
Yeah.
And a little splash of tequila. We're good.
Wait, you've had a long week so far, haven't you, Pedro? I mean, we can bring it back to how are you doing?
Yeah.
I mean, you've been through it. It seems like.
No, I really haven't. My weeks are usually what's the word I'm looking for? Self-inflicted
Right.
baloney and BS. But I'm good. I'm
Okay,
here on a
making
Wednesday.
sure.
We're good.
You got the tequila now. You're drinking like it. Listen, everything is gonna be okay. I don't know if you guys have checked out Pedro's channel. He's gonna be all right. He's gonna be fine.
Although I will say this, YouTube's got some glitches going on with the YouTube lives. I'll talk about that with Hannibal later. But yeah, YouTube's been an interesting week this week.
I've seen explain it to me because I have no idea. So the lives now are like TikTok or not even Instagram, where you can flick through lives.
Yeah. So this is what's happening. This is what I think's happening. So, we use the StreamYard link right here, guys, right? And I use StreamYard. Hannibal uses it. It's very popular, very easy thing to use. And Correct, it's a third party that works with YouTube and you go live. Really cool feature. But for a while, YouTube has a live now feature. When you get the plus button in your account, you can go live. I think YouTube is, I think the algorithm is rewarding content creators for using that YouTube live feature because they want to compete with TikTok and they want the impressions. Like I got stupid amount of views. I've never had that many views on a particular live, like on a random live like that. So it's weird, but I think YouTube's playing with some things. So if you're a YouTube content creator, I would recommend using the live feature to go live and make that and use that TikTok format because they're 100xing the impressions, and you're getting a lot of new people watching you. Because people that go to YouTube watch live, they watch lives like this. They watch YouTube lives, they watch shorts, or they watch long form. And some people just like the lives. And it's weird. Anyways, off topic, but I think something's going on with definitely not a glitch. I think YouTube is rewarding creators for using that function to compete with TikTok. That's my opinion.
Nice. I mean, it took a long time for me to get TikTok. I do get it now. Doesn't mean I'm happy that I get it, but I definitely understand what they're doing. And the interesting thing about new people coming in, asking weird questions and being weird, and you're like, who the hell are you? But obviously that's you're supposed to bring new people in. So that's cool.
Yep.
Another bit circle says, will the Clippers winning hurt LeBron's legacy? Kawhi would really be the king of LA. I don't think.
No.
I think it'll be nice. It'll be a cool thing if the Clippers won the chance. Yeah, it'll be cool because the Clippers always been like that redheaded stepchild of LA, right?
Yeah.
They have a good coach. I like Tyronn Lue. I think he's a pretty solid coach. He's definitely better than Doc Rivers as he's one of four as he started coaching the Bucks, and he's going to host the Eastern Conference All-Star team. Explain how that makes sense.
It doesn't. It makes no sense at all. Doc Rivers, he's overrated. It's showing right now. I don't understand it.
I don't know what he can do I don't know what I haven't watched any of the Bucks games, so forgive me. I don't know what's going on. It could be just a rough patch. You know how it is. You first start something, you put something together. I mean, we look, just talking about the Clippers. When Harden showed up, they were losing a lot of games, and people were worried. And Harden said, we just got to get this together. I say that, but I don't. It's just, I mean, the fact that he's going to be able to host that's a reward for the coach who's been killing it for the first half of the season. He has not killed anything. It's just a dysfunctional mess. And Giannis is weird. Hopefully they turn around. I mean, I feel bad for Dame. Dame decided, he wanted to get to a contending team, and he got to deal with this. So hopefully they turn around. But so far,
I like the Bucks too. I like I really like Giannis, but I mean, Dame, man, if he wins a chip, I mean, he deserves it. So
yeah, exactly.
I'm right now because I have the St. Louis ties and Jason Tatum. I'd like to see Jason win one. I really like the way he plays ball, how he attacks, and all that. But Dame, if Dame would win, I think that'd be great. Kawhi's already got two, so I'm not going to root for the Clippers. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, definitely. I hope that they at least get to the finals. Like you said, you love Russell, and it'd be nice for Russell to get a win. He's been, I guess it's just the Lakers just did not fit at all and just made him look really bad. And now he don't look that bad. Like he's fine. Like
happy.
he fits.
Westbrook
Yeah, he
looks
looks happy.
He
Yeah,
looks
and
happy.
he's supporting the players. He's not that kind of guy. He's not like what you consider like a Melo, where he's like, man, I don't know if I'm gonna come off the bench. You know, back in the day when Melo, with you could tell that the skills were not as great as it used to be. But Russell kind of embraced it. So
you know what? Thank you for bringing that up, because I had forgot he was on that team. So, because I like Russell Westbrook a lot. I got the man's jersey.
He still brings that energy. He still brings that speed, but
he does.
Yeah,
he does. I like him a lot. So I forgot he was on that team. And man, it would be cool to see him win. It's going to be interesting. I wouldn't mind the Clippers Boston finals, Clippers Bucks. That could be interesting. It could be good. A lot of star power there. It could be
a lot of star power. You can't say like it's like there's like all stars, it's future Hall of Famers, champ. Like I would definitely watch every second of it.
The Clippers have 4 Hall of Famers on that team, correct?
Yeah, yeah.
4.
Yeah.
The Bucks have 2, maybe 3. The Celtics have 1 for sure, maybe 2. They got 1.
Oh, yeah. Jaylen Brown.
They got 1.
But one surefire one. Yeah.
Yes. So that would be the Clippers have 4 Hall of Famers on that team. That's amazing. Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
We're gonna jump into the Taylor Swift stuff, but one question about nothing but Silicone Hannibal. What's up with your girls' $1 million giveaway? Do I have a chance to get it? No. You have to be in this the town of Dalton. And you know the whole joke about maybe we should just go over there and maybe interview some people. If you guys know that I'm knee deep in a bunch of shit. I don't know. Apparently I became a journalist or something. But anyway,
yeah,
I'm covering a really corrupt mayor in a small town that probably has like 20,000 people in it. And somehow, I don't know, whatever. For some reason, the algorithm went off with this. And a lot of people are coming to me and emailing me. But I had a number of people email me and said, do not come. They will mess with you. Like, they will arrest you for anything. Like, no joke. They will,
we talked about this.
People in the town saying, Hannibal, don't go.
Yeah, but Hannibal, we talked about this. That would
you should go.
Yes. Listen, let me be the voice of craziness for a second, okay? You're killing it over there. You are the calm voice, but also the entertaining voice within that niche on YouTube and debating these clowns in Dalton, these mayor and her little puppets, right? Her little boy. You spending one night in jail would be fantastic for content, and that is a 1 million view video, and that's not an exaggeration. That video,
that'd be crazy.
That's 1 million views.
Yeah, I told my chick this, and she's like, "Do not go." Like, so there's multiple people telling me don't go, but then it's exciting. Like, I could go. The problem is the police chief is a bit corrupt. They've had some issues with some deaths in jail.
What?
I don't know why I'm excited about this. Something's wrong with me. I think I'm just bored. Yeah, apparently this guy
you're very smart and measured, so I don't assume that you would go. I don't expect it. But if you wanted to go, if something happens, I'll go. We could spend the night in jail together. So they got to take out both of us.
Oh, shit. I want you to go, but to not get in trouble so you'll bail me out. But we both, who's bailing us out?
My girl will bail us out. We'll be
fine. Okay, that makes sense.
She's close enough.
We'll see. Bobby says Hannibal could parlay into CNN.
Bro, I'm telling you, Bobby. Tell him, Bobby.
We'll see. I mean, I have to convince the missus, like, hey, I'm gonna spend some days in Bolton, but we'll see. But let's go into something that's going to trigger us all, except Pedro, because Pedro's favorite show apparently is The View. So, we talked about this on Monday, like a little tease. I was at the dentist, forced to listen to stupid daytime TV shows, and I tell you, I was listening to it and I was immediately annoyed. And I'm gonna put the video up right now. It's toxic masculinity to blame for Taylor trolling.
Ooh,
very, This is a title that got me annoyed. But now we talked about Taylor Swift a few times. I find it annoying because I'm watching football and I don't listen or watch Taylor Swift content. It's not for me. And I assume that for a lot of people who don't watch football. And I felt like a lot of networks were forcing it. But I understand content and I understand views and engagement. Every time you talk about her or post her in that context with Kelsey, everyone gets passion on both sides, and everyone's arguing, saying, "No, what we don't care." But then, like Pedro mentioned, there's ratings that's going up. She's bringing a lot of money and attention to NFL, which already has tons of it. But at the same time, some people have some criticism. If you have any criticism towards Taylor, like, hey, how about you do something else? Or even though it's probably not her fault that she's been shown on TV that often. Obviously, right? She don't control the thing.
It's not her fault.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay. And I kind of ignore that though. I'm like, all right, they're gonna show her. All right, cool. I mean, she's not like, it's not hard to look at. She's an attractive person. She seems like a nice person. But it just felt like, man, they're really milking this. And the fact that Kelsey is playing his ass off, it feels like, damn. Do they care that he's playing well, or do they care because he's with Taylor Swift? Because he's all that Ravens game. He was trying to fight every play. He was tough as hell in that.
I think he's had 4 touchdowns in his playoffs or something. So he's a lot of catches, a lot of touchdowns. So of course the camera's going to go to him, and if the camera goes to him,
to the chick.
So if he doesn't have any touchdowns, we're not seeing her as much. We have to understand that, right? So that's part of it. If he plays,
so it's his fault a little bit. Yeah,
a little bit. I blame Travis Kelce. Yeah,
that's a good point. So we're gonna play it, and anytime you want me to pause it or something like that, let me know. But it's Whoopi Goldberg, Joy Behar, Sunny something. I don't know who the 2 other white women on one the end and one the blonde. I don't know their names. One of them is probably a conservative. I'm assuming it could be the one on the far right is the conservative, but
maybe
let's play and see how annoyed we all want to get.
There's many things to be upset.
Yep.
You see what's going on. There's many things to be upset about in our country right now. Many, many things. You see what's going on. You know how you feel about it. But the outrage over Taylor Swift in the stands at NFL games, cheering on her boyfriend, Travis Kelce, keeps getting louder. So Fox Sports commentator Colin Cowherd unloaded on all of this male rage. Please enjoy this.
There's a lot of really weird, lonely, insecure men out there. The fact that a pop star, the world's biggest pop star, is dating a star tight end who had one of his greatest games ever, and a network puts them on the air briefly, that it bothers you. What does that say about your life? 50% of men never have real intimacy with a woman. That means the other 50% have multiple intimate relationships with women. And those ones that don't are angry and sad and lonely, and they are often misogynistic and resent women who didn't give them the time they think they deserve.
Okay, so I didn't know Cowherd went that serious.
Yeah.
Okay, so so if you, in their view, and she's very happy about that. Yeah, if I had an issue, and again, with rage, someone typed a comment in a comment section, they're in rage, like, okay, I guess you can surmise that. But if I say, I'm really annoyed, they're kind of milking this situation with Taylor Swift. How about we just, this is not Access Hollywood, this is not celebrity news. We kind of want to see more clips of how well Kelsey is playing and more replays of how he's balling out of his mind. You are a lonely loser that gets no bitches. What's your opinion on that, Pedro?
This is what I'll say so far. When I see Taylor Swift pop up, I'm really not that annoyed by it. It doesn't bother me because it's not really taken away from the game. To me, it's not, because they're just showing her for a second, or maybe they show her 5 or 6 times. They're not interviewing her. We have not heard her speak. They don't have a microphone with a correspondent up in the suite. Hey, what do you think about that play? That would be an issue. I don't have an issue with them. This happens, right? So if Beyonce was not married to Jay-Z, but was dating Patrick Mahomes, it'd be the same thing. They would flash to Beyonce. They would flash to Mariah Carey, to the big stars, right? So I really don't have an issue with it. Is it slightly annoying? Yes, but it hasn't taken away from any of the football, in my opinion. I think they're milking it because they're news networks. So The View's going to milk it, Colin, ESPN, we're milking it, right? Like, people are talking about it because it's a trending topic. Taylor Swift pushes the needle. She is the most popular musician in the world. One of. Maybe her and J Balvin.
She may be the biggest. She may be the biggest.
She may be the biggest. Yeah. I mean, literally in the whole world, especially in America, it's not even close, but possibly the world. So I really don't have an issue with it. If anything, I'm a little more annoyed with Travis Kelce than I am Taylor Swift. But
yeah. So Nothing But Circle says that's all wrong. We just want football, not Taylor. That's crazy to me. And Bobby says, right, the bright red lipstick makes me nauseous now. I need more intimacy. All right. She has a pretty face. It's just a lot of that's it. And it's just not a lot of seasoning for me. Her music or anything else. She has a very attractive face. She seems nice, generous, likes the fans. Not one instance of being like a bad person or being rude.
Probably a pretty cool. I mean, based on what I've seen, how she gets along with people, how she interacts. She seems pretty chill to me. I don't have. Is she a little annoying? Is she somebody that would probably want to like date? And probably not. I don't know. But like, that's not my business. Like, I'm not bothered by her. I'm just not.
But what do you think about what he says? And they're going to probably say more about the people who have a problem are men. I don't know. We got the 50%. That maybe I didn't research that number, but there are a lot of men, a fair amount of men who have not had intimacy in a long time, like a year. I think that's pretty high. There's some that haven't had it at all. Do you think they are men mad? Is because again, they're not getting any bitches.
That's a bold statement for him to make.
It was pretty spicy.
I don't know what research he's done or what facts he's looking at or or he's just coming up with it in the wind. Clearly, we've talked about on this channel, men and the crisis of mental health and sex in men and like the loneliness, all of it. Right? We've talked about it.
Right.
So I'm assuming he's referencing that from a point of fact, but it's a strong statement to make. It's too blanketed and too judgmental for me. It's a little too, he's just trying to, I think what we have to understand is these Fox networks, the ESPNs, the ABCs, they're looking for the next statement that could go viral and to get them clicks and views.
Yeah.
Right. So I think that's in Shannon Sharp's brain sometimes. It's in Stephen A. Smith's. Like, how can I be a little more provocative today? How can I get trending? You know what I'm saying? I think we have to understand that this is a business and they have people in their ears saying, all right, this is what we got for some topics, go get them, So I'm not, Colin's always been that guy that's never been afraid to say his mind. And that's cool. I can respect that. But I don't always necessarily, I look at these guys as kind of characters a little bit. I don't need to believe everything that they say. I look at it as entertainment. So
Colin used to be the spicy take guy. Like, he was up there with Skip, and he kind of like, I don't watch a lot of his takes anymore. I haven't heard him say anything too wild. Bobby says the company man. I know that Fox Sports is in LA. LA, a little bit more progressive. They have along those lines there. But let's listen a little more about what the group thinks about it.
Yes. So my question is, what are you so pissed about? Why are you so mad? There's so many things to be angry at in this world. Why are these men toxically masculine?
American football doesn't have a female counterpart. Football was always kind of a no girls allowed, not accounting to the statistics. There are a lot of female fans. But the way it's always been is you're welcome in as a mom, a girlfriend who doesn't take up too much attention, a cheerleader. You had to fit those traditional roles. Here comes Taylor Swift. She has more money, therefore more power. She's more famous. And she's coming in to see her boyfriend in his home in a football stadium. that appearance is very uncomfortable for some people. And I would argue it goes beyond men. I would actually say the bias it is also existing in women who find
Not
themselves
like this. Not like this.
not to the same, but I would
No.
say you'd be missing a part if you don't see that some women are upset about it. And I saw a guy in high school that his post caught my attention. He also happened to be a football player. He said, for all of you guys spending your time complaining about Taylor Swift, your daughters are listening. And what they're hearing is be small and be less.
Yes.
And I thought that pretty much.
What? Okay. That's a lot. That's a lot to take in.
A lot.
Well, I don't have a daughter. Pedro, you have a daughter.
I have 2 daughters.
You have 2 daughters.
Yeah.
So if let's say if you did had a problem and you every time you felt like, oh, can she just go away? And I just want to see the game they're doing, and your daughter may be listening. That is that bad? Is that saying you don't belong in the arena of watching or participating in football?
That's a great question. I thank you for asking me that. I'm going to be very honest. I think it's not bad to say it, but being a father of 2 girls, I think you, as a father's role, being a girl dad, you have to be aware of what your daughter might seem as not fair. Okay. Right? So Taylor Swift has a lot of fans. She just announced she's going to have a new album in April, I heard. And I've seen videos of women like, oh, yeah. Like she has a lot of fans that are young women, young ladies, teenagers and into their 30s. So I think if I'm watching a game with my daughter that's 22, and I'm like, I keep on referencing, get that woman off the screen. I want to watch football. But she's a Taylor Swift fan, and she's watching with me because she likes Taylor Swift, and there's nothing wrong with that. She wants to see her. Oh, I like Taylor Swift. I was at her concert last year, and oh, hey, she's dating. Okay, now I'm watching football with my kid. To me, that's way more important. Now my daughter's interested in football. That's cool. I could spend more quality time with my girl.
Yeah.
Pull up a chair. Let's talk. What do you like? Yeah, I like her red lipstick. Like that to me is a father's role. Like spending time with my daughter and learning football together. And now she has an interest in it. That's a win-win. So if I'm shaming a woman on TV, it's not wrong to do that. Right? To say, oh, I'm tired, because maybe that's how I feel. But you have to, as a father, you have to know, well, how's my daughter going to take that? That's my responsibility. It's not, do I care about what other people think on The View? How does that affecting my 22-year-old girl? Right. So yeah. I think that's okay to be like aware of that. If it bothered me and if I knew my daughter was a fan, I might not say anything.
A different approach. You may have to, like you said, kind of just deal with it. Not that big a deal.
You, but I don't need to vocalize that to make my daughter feel like she can't now enjoy the game she's watching.
Fair enough. I mean, that's a mature response. Luckily, you're the mature one. Because I'm like, it's probably, if I had to say what's the best approach, that's probably the best approach. Read the room. If you have 2 daughters that love Taylor Swift and they're actually watching and they love, Travis Kelce because he's a good-looking guy and he's balling. He's playing. Without Kelce on that team, they're not going anywhere.
And he's gonna ball versus 49ers. He's gonna ball.
Because who's gonna be over the middle to catch to hold him down? Like I don't know. I mean, they got a pretty good defense, but
they got Fred Warner, but Travis Kelce.
He just finds his way.
And he balled versus the Ravens. The Ravens have 3 fantastic linebackers.
Yeah.
So I mean, come on. So
yeah.
I guess I look at it like to kind of. I want to hear what they're going to say as well, but I feel like. I understand like the guys that are like, wow, why is she getting all these attention? It's taken away from the game. I get that. Right. But for me, the bigger picture is we have a lot more people watching football. Isn't that a good thing? What's wrong with that? I don't see that there's anything wrong with that. So
I never thought of checking out something new because my favorite artist was into it. Like, let's say, for instance, we love Andre 3000. I think he's one of the greatest rappers of all time. He had a flute album. I listened to it maybe a little bit. You stopped. We are no longer following. You know what I mean?
But we listened though.
We did listen.
So, and like you said, if Andre 3000, somebody says synchronized swimming. If I can go upstairs and there's Andre 3000 synchronized swimming, I'm going to probably turn it on just because, right? Yeah. Does it mean I'm going to be a synchronized swimming fan? No, but you support the people that you like and that you respect.
Or at least give it a chance.
At least give it a chance.
Makes sense.
And Taylor Swift, her army of fans are extremely loyal. So they're gonna watch. If she's there, they're gonna watch. So
Do you have an artist or a celebrity that you have like that? And I think a lot of that is when you're younger. Love, I remember watching Michael Jackson concerts and people are
Yeah.
passing out. I mean, that's Michael Jackson. I'm probably not the best example. Like you have a artist that everything they do, you care about, you follow. Like I don't have that. Like I love what they, the artists and what they can do. But if Nas talks about, I want to start making, I don't know, pottery. I'm like, that's great for you, bro. I don't care. So I'm wondering,
yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. I think the people that we follow and enjoy mostly stay in the lane that we enjoy. Like, so if Nas or Ye or Andre or, if they make an album, we're listening the day of, right? That's just a easy yes. Okay. Ooh, album Friday, done. I'm listening to that whole damn thing. But yeah, if they go into other lanes, I don't know. But Taylor, yeah, I think we have to understand the impact she has on young women. So we're 40, you're almost 40, I'm 42. It's different. A lot of her fans are adolescents.
What's it called? The Gen Zers?
More,
Is that,
they're more impressionable. They're, a little more maybe cliquey in some ways and very like excited. And, so I think it's the fan levels are different. I think that's why she has such passionate fans willing to spend tens of thousands of dollars on seats for tickets and merchandise and album releases. And so I think it's different for the people that we enjoy. I mean, Michael Jackson had that, but he was even bigger, obviously.
He was like everyone. I don't know what group he didn't have, but yeah, it's a different,
but
different
music
beast.
His music's better. So
right.
It's not just, he was pop, but you had like a lot of people that liked him and he was Taylor Swift's a great performer, I guess, or really good, I guess, but she's not dancing like Michael Jackson. His theatrics were on another level. So yeah,
I hear you. Let me get in these comments because I'm getting strays or full on shots right here. So, so Nothing But Silicone talked about lingerie football. Yes, I don't know if you may not have been here, Nothing But Silicone, but early on in the incarnation of this YouTube channel, I was a big proponent. I actually showed some footage of the lingerie football. It's not a thing anymore, but I think they may have someone owns, but they don't. What they do is basically just show old games. It's a phenomenal program. Athletes, hard hitting. They wear pads now. They're still wearing somewhat of a lingerie, but they be hitting each other. So it's actually, I support that. So you can't say I'm against women. I support women's sports all the time. Then Nothing But Silicone talks about me practicing on that flute. I don't know what that means. You mean like a flute, right? Okay, good. And then Bobby comes to destroy me. He says, "Does Hannibal wear red lipstick while practicing the flute?" Are you guys talking about the flute, or are y'all talking about something else?
I ain't touching that.
Pedro likes the view. Where's the attacks on Pedro?
What are you talking about? You attack me all the time, and so do they. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like you said, you used to watch The View.
No,
I think
I didn't used to watch it. I've seen The View a few times. I've seen some episodes. I've seen some viral clips, and Rosie O'Donnell's flapping her gums, being crazy. Right. Barbara Walters, like that show was actually pretty entertaining back in the day. Now it's just very, very left, very PC, and like there's no nuanced conversations anymore. So that's why I don't.
Because they're all scared of Whoopi. She's too aggressive. And I think Rosie was strong enough to hold her own against Whoopi. Now she's the one just running everything. So if she wants to say something, they all shut up.
I don't dislike Whoopi. But I don't watch enough.
Whoopi's a little bit too far left for me.
Is she?
And she can get a little too angry, like old woman angry. Where like I love old women that are nice and sweet, get that grandma feel. She seems like she's still agitated sometimes. I don't know. That is my view when I see her talk about certain things.
You know what's funny is she's over here clapping about the toxic masculinity and the men that haven't had sex in forever. Well, can't we say the opposite of that is she's a woman that might have a lot of cats and hasn't had sex in 50 years? You know what I'm saying? And that's possible. Why she's angry at the world. So I think we have to understand, if you're willing to give it, you got to take it. So I think there's women that fit the description of what they're saying about men just as equally.
Gotcha. Thank you, Bobby, for coming through. He says that's where Pedro learned to mix that fruity cocktail he's sipping tonight. That makes a lot of sense. And again, I have no problem with Pedro watching The View. It would make a better show if we just knew everything that was going on. Anyway, let's continue on.
Much nailed the entire experience of this Taylor Swift.
Well, you know, I feel for these guys in a way. I have to say, I do. No, I'm not making a joke.
You're not?
No.
Okay.
I feel for them because things have not gone in their way. There are fewer jobs for them. A lot of these guys back in the old days.
In the olden days.
I mean, college enrollment for men are down.
Yeah.
They were up 60%. Now it's 41%. Women, you know, are moving ahead like crazy. I mean, women didn't say, "Oh, poor me." We went and we got our degrees and we pushed ahead. And feminism, the feminist movement did help that, 1970. And it sort of left a lot of these guys behind. And I think that they resent it. Look, we used to, as a woman comedian, I felt like it was harder for me as a woman comedian. But I didn't say, oh, I resent that the men can do it better or that they get a better audience. I tried to work harder. So, and also these guys need some therapy. Go get a shrink. I mean, they don't consider it masculine to be in therapy. It is not about masculine, feminine. It's about your brain.
Yes.
And so they need some help. And that's why I feel sorry for them. And also these kind of guys can be dangerous. They have guns, a lot of them. I feel.
Pause it, Paul.
Oh, Jesus. That was a lot to go with that.
What the fuck did you just say that meant anything to do about the topic? Nothing at all.
Well, but that's the thing I have a problem with it. They took this one thing, and again, I don't know what I mean. Other than comments like texts being annoyed, what is it? Videos? Is any videos are saying like someone spending like a 20-minute YouTube video ranting about this? Like maybe it's there. I haven't seen it. I mean, for me, I'm just slightly annoyed. It's slightly annoying. Not this, the whole thing needs to shut down and F all women, but they're going real deep into this.
Yeah.
And at least she had something in the beginning. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, men are getting left behind. It's not, you look at the stats. This is not made up. Less men are going to college. More men are depressed. More men are on drugs. More men are homeless. More men are committing suicides. This is all true. Yes. Like this is what's happening now.
More men are.
Taylor Swift is not the problem here. If you want to go deeper, cool. But then she went. They all have guns. Like I don't have a gun.
I don't have a gun.
You have a gun? Like I don't have. Like in the chat, anyone has guns? I mean, I will like
I'm
to
sure
have a
there's
gun.
people in the chat have guns, and that's fine. I don't.
But
so
just
they're generalizing. She's generalizing a little too much, and she's being a little like.
Like she, I don't. She wasn't like you thought she was serious about it. And then she's like not really serious. Like
it's like I feel like we're in a time now where there are. I will say this. I feel like based on some things that I see, and I've had some conversations with some people. I don't have any kind of case studies or whatever, but I feel like there is a growing demographic of men that are mad that the world's changed. The world's changed.
I agree.
Right? So it's a little more, it's definitely more progressive. It's definitely more equal in some ways. Not all, but some. More people have a voice now. And I think there are some men that are not happy about that because they feel like their country's changed. Right? I think that that's a fair statement, right? And I don't know if where they're going with this is that those are the same men that are mad that a woman's on the TV and getting attention. Maybe that's where they're going. I don't know. I don't know. They weren't saying this when Patrick Mahomes would throw a touchdown and they would show his wife and his brother, his idiot brother. I didn't feel the outrage then, right? And they would do that. You would see them at the games and they would Patrick Mahomes would do something and boom, it would pan to, because I watch a lot of Chiefs football. My brother's a huge Chiefs fan. It would pan to his wife and his dumbass brother. And a lot of people don't like his brother, but I didn't feel the outrage. So I don't know. Is it because it's Taylor Swift? I don't care when they show her. I'm slightly annoyed maybe for a second, but it doesn't really bother me that much.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Joe says, here's why I think some younger men are mad. Mm-hmm. They're expected to do twice as much for a low quality woman as much as Grandpa had to do. Giggity says, how Hannibal not have a gun? What if one of them dogs turn on you?
You know what? That's funny. But Joe, bring up Joe's comment again. I want to look at that. I think here's why some men younger are mad. They are expected to do twice as much for a low quality woman as grandpa had to do.
This is kind of
That-
the kind of like you know, a lot of stuff that's been said.
Yeah.
You know, the Kevin Samuels, like things are different now. Where, and I still think about the online dating where women have so much more control, and they're looking for the bigger, better deal. They're
Mhm.
not settling, so men have to work harder to achieve,
No,
and
I think
that just
I,
right.
I think
Um,
I think Joe is speaking some truth there. In his next comment, compare a young woman today versus 50 years ago. Just saying, Joe, you're not. Listen, I think it depends on what you like, right? As a guy, right? Like, there are women. Their level of expectation can be skewed a little. They want a guy that's 6 foot with this and dark hair, and this and that, and six figures, and like they want all that, but like that's not the average dude. That's like the 2%ers, right? So I think women's expectations are definitely sometimes unrealistic, but sometimes guys are too. But I think
that's a good point. Yeah,
it's
about
a good.
unrealistic expectations.
Yeah. I think so. And my chick's very like, she's pretty new age, I guess you could say, but she's also has a lot of traditional values about her, and she stays at home with the kid, and she's good with that, and she's very supportive. So she's definitely has some old school ways about her, but I don't know. I do think there are a lot of women that value things in a way that's not realistic. But I can, on the same side, I hate to be like down the middle, but there are a lot of dudes that they expect a woman to look like the chicks they're looking at on porn or the IG models, and they're not willing also to meet them halfway. So I think there's blame sides,
If I had to really be honest with everything I've seen so far, and I haven't met every man and haven't met every woman, men are more likely to settle than women. If I had to throw out a blanket generalization, women now, again, they're more educated. Some make way more money. They have a lot of their stuff together. They're not willing to settle with someone that makes less money than they are. But a man, especially a lot of men are lonely. Yeah, tons. And if they had a chance to meet someone that may not fit all their criteria, they will still give them that woman a chance compared to a lady. So
I think
if it had like a 60-40 or 70-30-ish, but I think women are less likely to settle.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I will say this though. I think there are a lot of guys that aren't traditionally exhibiting the masculine role and taking care of.
That's a good point.
Not taking care of shit for the girl, the house, or what I'm saying? They're too just a little too much, and they're not. There's some roles that have been a little left behind, in my opinion, right?
Man,
I don't think that a woman should be barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, and a man's got to work and then like wear a suit every day and a little briefcase. And women, you got to cook my breakfast and clean my drawers. Like we're not in the 1950s anymore, right? It's got to be more balanced, right? But I do think there are a lot more guys now that are just like, don't really take care of themselves, and they don't value things, and they're very just not as the level of like just self-awareness and integrity and like just being a dude when you need to be a dude sometimes. Because I believe, and this might be a hot take, men and women are very different. At the core level, we are different. That won't always be the case for every human being in the world, but biologically we're different. I think emotionally we're different. So I think when you stray too far away from that, sometimes I think that's why you have a lot of people that are single and lonely. That's just my opinion. A hot take for the night.
No, I agree. I think a lot of men have like a what do you call it? That doomer, cynical view of life. When you give up, when you lose hope, then you just don't care, and then you just get sucked into video games or too much porn, or you spend your money on those stupid glasses.
Yes.
But at the same time, I think a healthy look of your expectations is important. Setting boundaries. So a lot of men way too nice. They let the woman walk over them. Women need to, be honest when they look at men who are what they call them, the bad boys, how that can result into having a terrible relationship situation where you may be attracted, how exciting to deal with this guy, but you having all these other problems. Like a lot of it is just, going back to you saying self-awareness.
Yeah.
And just being realistic with what your expectations are. And I think if everyone did that, which it'd be a great day if that actually did happen, we will have more people come together. And also we're just becoming less social. So
yes, very good.
But I guess we can get back to finishing our trigger and play this rest of this.
Well, sorry at the same time that I'm worried.
I don't really feel sorry for them because it seems to me
That
like
makes
men are
sense.
still winning in this country.
But not this group. They're not getting any
maybe not
action.
this weird.
50%.
That's wrong. So this idea of men winning, it's kind of like, well, Elon Musk is winning. He's a man. How many Elon Musk do we have in our society? This woman doesn't live in the hood. She don't live at the trailer park. She don't live where the rest of us live. There's a lot of men not winning. There's millions of men not winning anything. They are desperate. They are lonely. They're messed up. And this idea, because you look at Jeff Bezos and Bill Gates, and just because you see the outliers of ultra successful men, you think all men are successful?
Yeah.
Like I just don't, that does not make sense to me. Like, did you have any numbers to back up what you're saying? I go outside right now on the corner. There's no, I don't see any winners. I see desperate people. So for her to say, well, men are still winning, I mean, we look at the numbers. Well, why are they not going to college?
Yeah.
What's going on? Why are they having more depressive episodes? Again, the drug use, the suicides. If men are winning, then why are we seeing the numbers that we're seeing? So I bet you can
decide right now, and I know I can go in certain parts of St. Louis, and I'm going to see a lot of dudes homeless on the street. I'll see a few women, but I'm going to see mostly men. 9 out of 10 dudes.
So I don't understand. That's the problem when you have been successful enough where you don't live in these areas. I'm sure she's around men who are doing well, but that's not most men. It's just not.
Yeah.
Let me press play.
Yeah, this is like a weirdo group probably, but I think that Taylor Swift, on average, the camera's on her 25 seconds.
Yeah, it's not much.
A football, I went to Notre Dame, okay? A football game is really long and you're out in the cold for a really long time. If they show her for 25 seconds enjoying and supporting her partner, I don't know what's wrong with that.
Because she's a symbol of what I just described.
Well, maybe that's what it is, but the other thing is, I think a lot of it is that men are.
Yeah, no, I was saying, what you just said there, I kind of agree with. I don't think 25 seconds is a big deal, but maybe I'm in the minority on that. But that's it.
When you say it like that, it's not that big a deal. But
they're not interviewing her. You know what I'm saying? She's not down on the field calling plays. Like, I don't know. Yeah.
Fair enough.
Missing socialization with other men. Okay, you watch television, that's fine, but they're lonely. Like the statistics show that only 15% of men report having, 15% of men report having no close friendships. That part saddens me.
There is a crisis of young men in this country. Professor Scott Galloway of NYU talks about it a lot. Men are less likely to graduate high school, less likely to get a college degree, 2 times as likely to overdose, 3 times more likely to commit suicide, and the stats go on. This is not making any kind of excuses for men. It's pointing out that especially in the internet age, if you're lonely, you're not having romantic partners, you're not having male friendships, you're turning to the internet. There's this whole community, they're called incels, basically people who are choosing to be.
Okay, now are they going too deep into this, or are they hitting the accurate?
She had me in the beginning, though. I was like, "Oh, I kind of like this chick," but she's like,
I think she's nothing but Silicon mentioned. That's the conservative person on the set there. Now, so if I complain, we are incels. If I complain about Taylor Swift, even if it's 25 seconds, 25 seconds could sometimes be long when you're sitting there. If I stared at you for 25 seconds, you're like, "Yo, what's up? Got a problem?" I know the show's a joke. We're doing it because I had to sit waiting to get dental work, and I'm going to make you all suffer. Yeah. So that's why we're watching it. And I had to listen to the whole thing.
NBS, what's a fake conservative? What is that? Is that a thing? I don't know what that means.
Well, I would say probably not a strong conservative or a strong debater. Because first of all, a strong conservative couldn't last in that show because they'll just argue so much and go back and forth that they wouldn't put them on. So, like, let's say let's say Ben Shapiro went on that show, they would not want to deal with him. First of all, when you're able to debate really well, you run laps over people because you just know how to frame arguments.
I've seen Ben Shapiro be quiet, be hushed, and kind of owned once in like a one paragraph. Other than that, Ben Shapiro pretty much handles his
pretty
own
much
stuff.
good, yeah.
Ben Shapiro
I think
body those women, yeah,
right. Like, or even let's say, for instance, like Candace Owens, and she has a lot of criticism back and forth. But in terms of her being a debater, it'd be difficult for her to like. They couldn't handle her either. So
No,
she's probably either conservative, but not as hard, right?
Yeah.
As like your
Loose
Matt Walsh's, your Steven Crowder's, those kind of people. Like Steven Crowder go up there, they will leave the stage because he's just too strong with the debating, and because that's all they do. But let me see. I don't remember the ending of this, but let me just. I think it's like
or who are not choosing to be celibate, but are because they don't have options out there. Well, that's kind of the idea, and there are actually dangerous consequences of that. Whether it is, mass shooters tend to fit a certain profile: men of a certain age, loners who feel disconnected from society. And then on the other side of it is we've all been victims of the vitriol, the misogyny, the casual cruelty that exists online. I don't know what the solution is, but I do think it begins with getting into community, having actual friendships. People don't hate each other the same way in real life as they do with the anonymity of the internet.
Absolutely, absolutely true.
That's
They
a good
don't.
point.
They don't have the. I can't use the word I want to use, but it's this keyboard courage because they're hiding behind the little cat emoji or whatever, And it's always. It's sometimes though. It's the guy that's like with the gun. I think you're right with the gun.
Yeah, but you know what?
They keep bringing up this gun. I'm not going to finish this, man.
Listen, this is what they're basically saying. Okay, let's just call it out what it is. They're basically saying the white man in the South with the gun, with the Confederate flag on.
No women in his life.
No women. They're talking about, and they're being a little like irrational. Like they're not bringing facts. She brought some facts. The one person that actually had statistics was the Fargo. Nobody else really brought anything, but they're basically talking like this is what this man looks like, but they're not saying it, but I'll say it because that's what they want. You know what I'm saying? And that's not fair. But
I understand the point of there's a lot of men out here. It's a bigger point. Again, the Taylor Swift they're going a little over the board. We are annoyed. Are we losing our minds off this topic? I do not agree. I don't think we're losing it. There are people who are airing out their grievances on many issues. This is just a slight annoyance because most of us don't listen to Taylor Swift's music. So it's like, we don't.
She's been on tour. She has I couldn't tell you one name of one song that woman's done in the last few years. Not one. I couldn't tell you one name. I know
one song, and for some reason it's called Cardigan. And I don't know the name. I don't remember the song. I just remember that name. Other than that, because also Taylor Swift is interesting. Does she ever even be featured with rappers? Does she have a song with a rapper? I should look that up.
You're more of a Taylor Swift fan than I am. You know one song, so you tell me.
I don't know. Like, has Taylor Swift ever tried to? That's one thing about Michael Jackson and the greatest pop star of all time. He worked with anybody. His music was trained. He could have done any genre. That's how amazing he was. Taylor Swift. I don't know if you put her in the blues or had her on a rap. Like, she would be rapping, but you know what I mean. Like, I have no idea. I have no idea. So we could move on. Because talking about guns, so we could bring this up right before we leave. Nothing but Silico says Eli is a fan. As big as a fan of the Niners as Pedro is Taylor Swift.
You think I'm a fan of Taylor Swift? I couldn't even tell you the name of her song.
No. Apparently Eli is like a fake fan of the Niners. Apparently he lives in San Francisco or close to it, so I guess he's excited for the 49ers. Unfortunately, the Chiefs are going to win, but yeah, good for him. Okay, so I'm gonna put this up. So this was a really interesting story. I'm sure maybe you guys already know what happened. I'm gonna put up the article you guys can check out. I'm still conflicted. I showed this to my friend, and she was like, "Yeah, she should go to jail." I'm like, "Damn, really?" Yeah, I'm like, "All right." So, I still don't know. I still don't know what I would do.
I shared my thoughts with you last night, right?
Yeah. So this situation is in Michigan. So it's kind of close. Well, kind of close, but whatever. Jennifer Crumbley, the mother of a school shooter, Ethan Crumbley, was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter. This marked a significant legal milestone as it tests the extent of parental responsibility in the context of America's mass shooting crisis. So Ethan, at the age of 15, used a semi-automatic handgun to carry out a deadly attack at Oxford High School in 2021, and he killed 4 students. He pled guilty, and he's serving a life sentence without parole. I'm still conflicted about sentencing teenagers to life sentences, but that's a whole different argument. That's a whole different debate. Yeah. I understand a boy at 15 spent his whole life in jail, and he killed 4 people. But again, that's a whole different thing. I'm sure you guys may not agree with that or not. But so the prosecutors argued that Jennifer Crumbley's actions and inaction significantly contributed to the tragedy. They highlighted that she and her husband were aware of Ethan's mental health struggles and his downward spiral, but yet to secure the firearm and the ammunition, the ammo in the shooting. Obviously, Jennifer's defense said she couldn't foresee her son's actions, and then pointed to her husband as responsible for securing the firearm. So I guess they were just sort of pointing fingers. So I don't appreciate you, nothing but silicone.
Thank you. Yes.
I don't know how if I was a parent dealt with a child being gunned down by a child, I would want the parent to suffer for something, but they are suffering from something. I think they are suffering from the fact that their son killed people, and that's a burden that they'll always have for the rest of their lives. But should they be legally responsible?
Right.
And I don't know the gun laws in Michigan, but this is my approach. This is at least my approach on why this happened and what's the message being sent. It's being sent to gun owners that you guys better be really, really careful with your weapons in the home. And if your child is a little bit off, and you should know, and at the same time, we all know our kids. Right? Like, your kid is about
I'll challenge you on that, Hannibal. Okay. I think it's one of the toughest things to do is to be a good parent. Anybody can be a parent. So we should know our kids. Some parents don't know their kids.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it is. But they don't. I think some parents don't really know their kids. I do believe that. They get caught up in life. They get caught up in this. They get caught up in that. You're a great father, right? You know your son, right? So not everybody is going to do and understand and be tapped in the way you are.
Right.
And there are a lot of parents out there that they're not tapped into these subtle clues that their kids might be getting. And she might fall under that. I don't know. But
and I don't understand that. Like, they should have done more. Of course they should have done more. There's children that's been killed. Their lives have been taken away. But now she's going to jail. I think it's up to 60 years.
5 to 50 years.
5 to yeah.
It's somewhere between there. And she'll probably do 20.
I would say at least this is a message to gun owning parents.
Bingo.
So I'm wondering what side of the debate you have on terms of gun control. 'Cause I know some people are more conservative, get your hands off my guns, blah, blah, blah. I have the ability. But what if your kid takes your gun? You knew that it had mental health problems. They kill someone. Should you be responsible? So I know you told me, through the phone, but what is your thoughts on this case?
I got 2 questions that I think you might know, or maybe in the chat, because I don't know. I saw the TikTok you sent me, and I was responding to that, right? So I want to be clear with. So he's 15. Was there known mental health issues?
It was known. They knew too.
Okay. So documented mental health, okay. Yeah. And then, is this a gun purchased for him, or was it a gun that he had access to?
They purchased him a gun. They had guns. They were good. They're gun family.
But this gun was his, okay. And then was it like an AR assault rifle, or was it like a shotgun?
It was a semi-automatic handgun.
Semi-automatic handgun. Okay, so this is my stance. It's gonna be exactly what I told Hannibal last night. And this is a strong one for some of y'all. I believe in America, no 15-year-old child should have a gun that's his that is a semi-automatic weapon. That's what I believe. Now, if you're a hunting family or you want to have a gun for protection in the house, if it's handled correctly and the kid knows how to use it, you have a right to do that. Like, you want to have a shotgun to hunt deer, you want to have a gun to hunt birds, and you use it responsibly and the kid's been trained, which I don't think he has. That is your right as an American. I got no problem with that. I don't want to take your guns. But my opinion, and I'm strong on this, there isn't a 15-year-old in America that needs a semi-automatic weapon or an AR-15 or anything like that. Anything that has that kind of power. There's not one 15-year-old that you can point to me and says that 15-year-old needs that gun for safety. Not one. So I think it's irresponsible on the parent's side. But I don't think she should spend 60 years in jail.
I'm about to guess. I'm not sure. Most likely they're not going to get the max.
No, but
she's going to serve some time. She's definitely going to probably serve some time. She's going to probably, if I had to guess, and again, I'm not even sure. This is new. This is a rare. This is basically they're setting a standard, not a standard, but it's setting the precedent of
they're proving a point.
Your child goes off and does this, and Big Carl says, this woman neglected her child in more ways than one, and they were very. I would say that their parents were very ignorant and kind of dumb. Like you apparently this child was drawing violent drawings. It's 15 years old.
Really?
You don't know what you have to not. That's what I was saying. Knowing your kids, the child is begging for help in a way, and you choose to say, "Hey, here's some guns, and let's hang out and shoot." And he apparently the warning signs was well known. He had a threat assessment. They had a lot of issues,
and that's why I asked: Did they have guns as a family, and then he got access to them somehow, which is irresponsible. That's irresponsible gun ownership if he's able to have a code and he also has these mental health issues, because mental health issues are a big deal. And a lot of these people that are doing these shootings have documented mental health issues.
Yeah. So and it was documented. They took him out of school for mental health. There's a lot of problems.
If your kid falls in line with that, as a parent, I don't have guns at all, but that's just me. If I have a child that really has some issues, I don't have one single gun in the house, but that's just me. Right? Call me whatever. But my main issue is they purchased him a semi-automatic weapon.
It was a hobby. It was in Nas Ocean. Appreciate you coming through.
But that's not a hobby. You don't need a 15-year-old doesn't need a semi-automatic weapon to hunt. And did they live in a crime-ridden area where there was like bullets flying everywhere? I'm assuming, and I might be making an ass of myself, probably not. So his needing of a gun is irresponsible because of his mental health. Plus, I'm going to say this again. There isn't one 15-year-old in America that needs a semi-automatic weapon. I don't care what you say. An adult's different than a 15-year-old. There is not one 15-year-old child that needs a semi-automatic weapon. And if you as a parent, and I might offend some of y'all in the chat, I don't care. If you as a parent are handing your child that's 15 a semi-automatic weapon, you're a bad parent, in my opinion.
So not even to arrange. You wouldn't say learn gun safety, learn how to load your gun, how to clean your gun. You would, even if you didn't own it. It's like, hey, like if you're, I don't know if you're a cop or a military, but you have kids in the house, you have guns. If I say I want my 15-year-old son to learn how to handle a gun, that would not be a good idea. You would not agree with that.
Not a child with mental health issues. Absolutely not.
Well, mental health issues, clearly. And then that's the problem. This is probably the worst case.
If I have
the worst case of neglect, this case was the worst case.
If I have weapons like that and I own them as a responsible gun owner, I have AR-15, semi-automatic pistols, and my son or daughter's 15, they want to go to the range with me, teach them how to shoot it. That's different. But that's my weapon. They don't have access to that. Right.
True. So I agree. That's a good. I agree. That's what my angle is. I think. Yeah. And Carl has it. Carl was saying that too. Teaching my child. Yeah.
They don't have the key. They don't have nothing. Right.
Right.
But that's different than purchasing a gun for my child and then teaching him how to. That there's no reason for that. For even have access to it is really the issue for me.
Correct. We are definitely in lockstep with that. I think this was a really bad case of parents just being real dumb and ignorant of mental health. Everyone was telling them that there's issues. They said the teacher discovered that Ethan was looking up ammunition on his phone during class.
Yeah.
So she didn't take it seriously. These parents didn't take it seriously. He did this. He ruined his life. He ruined the lives of 4 other people. So I am kind of tilting towards like she should spend some time in jail.
I know.
Because of the level of neglect there.
I'm thinking they should. I'm thinking the parents shouldn't, but now I'm kind of talking my way out of it. But a 15-year-old with mental health issues it's touchy, but 15-year-olds know right from wrong.
So, yeah, definitely. Yeah. So yeah, and then also like it could just be a whole different, like a long conversation about should we have our 15, 16-year-olds go to jail for the rest of their lives? Now, killing 4 people, it'd be hard to convince anyone to say, well, he should have another chance. I totally understand it. I'm not going to go down that road.
He's not an adult, but you know right from wrong.
You definitely know right from wrong. And he's going to spend his life with guys 30, 40 years old. He's in, and I'm sure he's going to be in juvenile and they move him, but his whole life is done because his parents didn't take his issues seriously.
And that it's sad for the kids. It's less sad for the parents because they're adults and they should know better. And my only issue is I'm not saying kids shouldn't learn how to shoot guns and practice safety, but clearly this kid wasn't able to do that, and the parents purchased him a semi-automatic weapon. My point is, 15-year-old should have a semi-automatic weapon. If you purchase one for the house and you want them to use it at the range, that's different. But if they purchased it for him, he had access to it. And there's no 15-year-old should have access alone to a semi-automatic weapon that could do that kind of damage and kill 4 people that quickly.
Also, the father purchased the gun, so they definitely. I don't know if I'm sure he's probably going to get his trial as well. If she got it, he may want to get a plead and try to get a lesser charge instead of trying.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did in November. Oh, so I was saying November he already pleaded guilty for misdemeanor reckless conduct. So why the hell she didn't? So she tried to fight it, which is probably a dumb idea. She probably should have pled guilty.
I don't understand the need or the want to purchase your child a semi-automatic weapon.
It's gun culture. It's if they, it's hard for us to understand, but when you live with guns, I mean, I'm sure you could talk to many people like I had, they held a gun at 10, 11, 12. It's a culture. They say it's for hunting, it's for protection. If I have a weapon in my house, I would like my son to understand how it works, how to respect it. It's a culture thing. I mean, I wouldn't say there's anything necessarily weird about it. But
so if I'm a gun culture family, which is fine, I'm not anti-gun, but like you're going to show your gun how to handle it, how to make sure there's not a bullet in the chamber, like all the safety shit, right? Whatever that means, because I don't handle guns. That's fine, but then you take it and you look at that kid in the eyes and say, this is my firearm. When you're an adult, you could purchase your own. I'm gonna have it locked. You won't have the code. You won't have this. Like, I just I don't get that. Semi-automatic is the issue that I have because it's like that produces a lot more damage.
Right.
If the kid goes to the school with a shotgun that's his or a BB gun, that's different. He's probably not murdering 4 people. Right. So that's, the issue is the mass, the mass shooting element of the semi-automatic weapon. I don't understand, though. 15-year-old as a father, and he has mental health issues, and you are giving him a gun. That's a bad dad. That's how I look.
You're setting that person up to fail. You're setting that person up to fail.
Yeah.
I mean, even the other situation that I guess it didn't get to that point because the mother died. The Sandy Hook, she had her son shoot with her and go on a range. He obviously wasn't there all mentally, kills her, then goes to Sandy Hook and kills a bunch of kids. It's just, and they knew something was up with him, but they
Yeah.
thought, well, having a gun, it'll be an experience of shooting. Maybe he'll, but again, he killed his mom, then went and killed a bunch of kids. So I have no idea. I guess I'm leaning on she should spend some time in jail. Yeah, I agree. I've never seen a case. Probably there's not a case that this extreme that would facilitate someone going to jail. Usually, it's not that ridiculous.
So let me add one more wrench in here, one more monkey in the wrench. Okay. So we're being told that the father bought the gun, right? What if the mom was against that? Do we know that? What if she's like, I don't know if he should have this gun, but dad's like was adamant, like, I'm his father. I'm going to teach him guns. This could be good for him. I want him to feel empowered. You know, I think he's going to be okay. But the mom was against it, but because her husband was for it, and she just like, okay, and she just went with that. Is she at fault as a mom?
Well, the problem is one of the issues. The teacher discovered Ethan looking up stuff. The school official called Jennifer. She didn't respond, but texted jokingly with Ethan, who assured her that he was doing whatever he was doing was completely harmless.
Mm.
Did you at least show them a pic of your new gun? She asked. No, he replied. I only told them I went to the range with you on Saturday. She says, LOL, I'm not mad at you. You have to learn not to get caught. So she fully knew.
Learn not to get caught. Sounds like she's enabling.
Right. They're gun enthusiasts, but also she did not take his mental health seriously. Talking to a 50-year-old that has mental health issues, you can't necessarily take if the school official's saying this, you have to take it seriously. She didn't. So that's why she's probably going to jail.
Yeah, I'm starting to get a little more of the story then, but you know, man, irresponsible parenting, definitely negligent.
Oh, definitely.
For sure. And it's almost like, yeah, it's sad. I feel bad for the son. I feel bad for the family, the families that lost 4 children. Like that's just it's not good for anybody. It's bad.
Definitely. Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, you gotta take care of your kids, pay attention to the children.
One last thought. It's clear that they're setting a precedent of now families are like, on alert. Oh, damn. These parents got 20, 30 years. Okay, well, let's take stock of our home. We don't want to be put in this situation.
Right.
Sometimes
definitely.
They're made examples of. And I feel like we're making an example of this mom and dad and almost in hopes of having more gun safety at your home when you have kids, especially if there's a mental illness or maybe even not, of making sure things are locked and they're
removing guns if it's got to that point where you having officials and therapists and other people saying you may have to remove the weapons. So at least it protects yourself now. Now you're like, well, now they're protecting your kid, obviously, but at the same time, protects your safety or your freedom because you could get accused of it, basically you could spend a decade or 2 in jail or prison. So
this could have some benefits on the back end, and this might be why there's some pressure or whatever to get these parents. And let's make an example. It is what it is. They were negligent. They were irresponsible. There's documented information of some mental health issues, and so maybe this is good long term. I don't know. We'll see.
Nothing But Silicone says a good example to be made. This might help more than any ever. I mean, especially if you know there's signs and don't neglect it, especially you have really powerful weapons in your home. So we'll definitely see about that. But on that note, I think the next time we come back, the Super Bowl will be over. We'll know who won.
Yes.
Then this Kanye album. We'll know if it's terrible or it's the best thing that ever blessed our ears. We'll have those 2 done. And then also no more Taylor talk because the whole season will be over. No one cares. There's nothing to watch. It doesn't matter to me. I mean, whatever. Go enjoy the tour. I know you already know the new album is going to come out. Pedro will give us his breakdown of the album when it comes out in April. He'll give a full review. He'll let us know, what the hits, what's the good songs, that when he was drinking his Mai Tais or whatever food he drinks. But you drink a good amount. You ready to go to bed?
No.
No?
I'm good.
You're an animal.
I've been drinking like one cocktail a week. This is my first cocktail in like 2 weeks, so I'm good.
Okay, that's what's up. That's what's up. Go Chiefs. Yeah, I got the Chiefs. Mahomes
100%.
he deals with so much bullshit. He just balls, man. I think that's where he's probably the most comfortable playing football because his family is weird. And he got to deal with so much nonsense when he has to leave that football. He's like, I'd rather play football and just throw bombs at Kelsey and win another Super Bowl. So that's my bet. If I'm betting, I may bet. Who knows? We'll see.
I'm putting 100 for the Chiefs to cover the spread. That's my bet. So.
Yeah. Will Taylor make it? Apparently, she's performing somewhere really far, and then she has to jump on a private jet because she owns planes, apparently, or owns jets. And to get there on time, it's possible. Of course, she'll show up.
Yeah.
Of course, she will.
Come
So
on.
we'll see that. And good luck to that. Anyway, on that note, guys, enjoy the rest of your evening and enjoy the game. Peace.